Since 2010, Muslim immigration to the West has accelerated, often with undesired results. There had been a number of terrorist attacks by Islamists killing innocent people and shouting Allahu Akbar. They don't assimilate well and don't contribute much to the economy. According to the latest statistics released by the UK government, 75% of Bangladeshi and 72% of Pakistani households were in the lowest two income quintiles. The statistics reveal that 9% of Pakistanis and Bangladeshis are unemployed as compared to 3% of white British. Racial discrimination is not the cause because the unemployment rate for Indians, who are racially similar to Pakistanis and Bangladeshis, was only 4%. The difference is that the Pakistanis and Bangladeshis are mostly Muslims while Indians are 80% Hindus. So could the reason be because of Islam? Stick around and find out. According to a poll done by the Institute for Social Policy and Understanding, the religious group most likely to be poor are Muslims. About 35% of American Muslims earn less than $30,000. On the other hand, 24% of Muslims are high earners, making more than $100,000 per year. This is only slightly behind the general public. So on an overall basis, we can say that Muslims in two major Western countries are not as economically productive as the general public. Why should this matter? It matters because each of us contribute and draw on the public treasury. If we earn more, we pay more taxes. Each citizen pays income, property, social security, and sales taxes. On the other hand, the state and federal government has to provide services to the public like education, police, health and defense, etc. So taxpayers can be divided into two broad categories: those who are net payers into the public treasury and those who are net takers. A wise immigration policy means we must ascertain which group of people are more likely to be net payers into the public treasury. Culture and religion affect behavior, which in turn will yield economic, social, and political outcomes. If you look at the wide swath of Muslim countries ranging from Morocco to Pakistan, you will see that most are poor, and few are passable democracies. Some are mired in violence. In a speech to the Organization of Islamic Conference, former Pakistani President Pervez Musharraf said in 2002, "Today, we are the poorest, the most illiterate, the most backward, the most unhealthy, the most unenlightened, and the weakest of all the human race." Is Islam to blame? Stick around and find out. I think one major cause is the lack of women's participation in the workforce by these groups. According to a report published by the Greater London Authority, the employment rate for Pakistani and Bangladeshi women was 31% lower than that for white women. With less women working, the Pakistani and Bangladesh community in the UK will of course be poorer than the other groups. One reason is that Muslim culture is patriarchal. The Quran clearly sees men in charge of the family. In Quran 4:34, men are allowed to beat their wives. Quran 4:34, men are in charge of women by right of what Allah has given one over the other and what they spend for maintenance from their wealth. So righteous women are devoutly obedient, guarding in the husband's absence what Allah would have them guard. But those wives from whom you fear arrogance, advise them. Then if they persist, forsake them in bed. And finally, strike them. As is well known, a Muslim man can have up to 4 wives, but a Muslim woman can only have 1 husband. Islam puts women in an inferior position. Furthermore, in 2 different hadiths, Prophet Muhammad said that women are deficient in intelligence and religion. Quran 2:282 says that 2 men are needed to testify to a debt. If only 1 man can be found, then the missing man can be replaced by 2 women. 2 women are needed so that if one forgets, the other will remind her. This implies that women are mentally deficient. Such ideas found in their scriptures and the patriarchal societies that Muslim women live in robs them of their self-confidence, and they do not seek work outside the home. This is likely a major cause of their poverty compared to other groups. But there is another problem. Muslim society has a higher degree of consanguinity. Many marriages are between 2 cousins. The idea is to keep property within the family, much like what the Habsburg did. But unlike in Christendom, such practices are backed up by Islam. Their Prophet Muhammad married one of his cousins, Zainab bint Jahsh. Since Quran 33:21 says that Muhammad is an excellent example to follow, few dare to do anything about this. As a result, Muslim society has a high degree of inbreeding. This has led to genetic problems in their community. According to the World Population Review, inbreeding also lowers the IQ. Bashi published his findings, Effects on Inbreeding on Cognitive Performance, in Nature magazine. He found that the IQ of children born of cousin marriages are lower. This will have an impact on the inbred person's educational attainment and hence income. One would think that a community lagging behind would strive to learn from others, but unfortunately, this is thwarted by an inflated opinion of themselves. Quran 3:110 says, "You are the best community ever raised for humanity. You encourage good, forbid evil, and believe in Allah." Since Muslims believe that they are the best community, they are not interested in changing their way of life. They are also not assimilating when they migrate to a Western country. In fact, they want you to become like them. This reminds me of blue state people fed up with the crime-infested Democrat cities, move to a red state like Texas or Florida, and then still vote blue. Well, I leave it to you, dear viewer, to decide whether accepting Muslim immigrants is a good idea. But you also have to put up with an underachieving minority that will contribute less than they put in. If you know of any good points, please tell me in the comments section below. Leave a like and subscribe.